Okay, so now we have audio. Audio is up. Okay. So, I think we are ready to go. Okay. Let's open up our chats here. And we'll post on Twitter that we're live, because we're doing kind of an atypical time here. Welcome, Pluto the Legend and Roach. Glad y'all could join us in the Twitch chat. We're going live on YouTube simultaneously. Gonna try doing some Monday morning bonus streams. Just to kind of, because the progress on all this stuff, there's always a lot to do. Let's make sure we got the live event chat open here. Welcome, Ellis. Welcome, Evanetta. Welcome, Shalom M. Welcome, Life A. It's Lemon Tea Tree, Dan Grice, Bass Symphonies. We got 3 chats active. Glad to see y'all. Okay. One thing I'm realizing I'm short on is birch. I do need to get some birch. Also, I'm hoping that we'll run into Jev at some point so I can grab some sponges. Because we're at the point where we really... Oh, I need to pause folding at home. Yeah. Yep, folding at home. There is a HermitCraft team on folding at home. Let me see if I can find a link to that. Team HermitCraft is always doing pretty well. We're 101st in the world at folding at home, which is wild. So thanks everybody who's contributed their CPU and GPU time toward protein folding and helping research new medical opportunities by increasing our understanding of protein shape dynamics. I am very, very happy with how well received that was. Isuma took the point on that, created that folding at home team, and we've had, oh boy, so many people show up for that. I'll be honest, it is one of the ways I justify buying a slightly nicer processor than I might need, arguably, because one of the problems with these NVIDIA GPUs is that the video encoding side of things doesn't get better when you go, like, up within a generation. NVIDIA is basically like the NVIDIA encoder that you get on the 4050 is going to be the same as you get on the 4090. Video encode is not how we differentiate things within class. Going from a 3000 series to a 4000 series, yeah, you get a better video encoder. But, like, yeah, I don't know that I would have justified getting the 3080 Ti if I wasn't contributing to this scientific program. Although, when I do stuff outside of work, like play VR games, the 3080 is nice. Yeah, Dave USPS says, is that where people volunteer to run computations in the background? Yeah, it's a distributed computation project run out of Stanford to help parse the geometries of protein shapes as they fold, which is crucial for understanding all sorts of things about how viruses mutate and how medicines will or won't work. It's a cool project. They've been going for a long time now. I actually started using folding at home. If you look at my folding at home page, I started using it back when I was doing webcomics. So my first, like, 1,000,000 points or something. Maybe not million. Let me check. If I go to the Joe Hills page, my first 1.7 million points was to a team called Kepler, because that was the name of one of the characters in our comic. We had a little team for our comic, which, was mostly me. Mostly me and Frosty Plum, who, made this, or girl back then, who made the, in this house we play by Groundhog, or in this house we follow Groundhog Day rules thing. We go way back. But anyway, quick reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. But yeah, if I forget to turn off folding at home in the background, the video is a little bit jittery because it's eating my GPU and CPU. Dave USPS says, trying to go from a string of peptides to a coherent protein structure is a brutal problem. Yeah, you know, and I'm happy to help in some small way. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So the thing is that, like, at the rate that graphics cards and CPUs normally burn out, I don't... Like, I use all of my computers for work stuff, but I don't use them enough that they actually usually die before I should replace them. Like, the streaming tech moves quick enough that I should probably be replacing these things every other year regardless. So at that point, I'm like, I might as well have them running 24/7, helping people. And there is some electricity cost, but the Tennessee Valley Authority is pretty good about renewable energy, and so electricity... So yeah, I am paying a little bit more on my electric bill, but I'm paying more on my electric bill to contribute to the sciences, and I feel like that's a worthwhile contribution. Even if it's not, like, I don't get, like, a non-profit, you know, tax write-off for it. I'm just paying my electric bill. But yeah, if you are very cost-sensitive or your electricity, you live in a place where electricity is very expensive, it's not necessarily a good fit for you, but yeah. If you do decide to use folding at home, that team number from that link, 259009, that's the HermitCraft team link. And you might see some familiar names in the donor list. Dave says, I had SETI at home for a while. Yeah, when I was in high school, all of the high school computers ran SETI at home. It was very cool. Unfortunately, I don't think the SETI at Home project, while it definitely advanced things in terms of understanding how to do distributed computing on like lower-end machines rather than like actual supercomputers with homogeneous hardware. Yeah, unfortunately, SETI at Home didn't quite get the results it needed to justify its continued existence, and is actually being retired like this week or last week, which is kind of sad. But whereas folding at home has been cited in a ton of scientific papers, this is a great way for scientists to get compute time for projects that they might have a hard time. Like depending on their university's resources, they might not. They might be in a very long queue otherwise. It's not that existing supercomputers can't do this work. It's that existing supercomputers are pretty heavily booked, backlogged for a long time. We're talking about folding at home. Trubaka says, I ran SETI at home for years. Yeah, it's really cool. I didn't run it when I was in high school at home. Well, for one thing, because all the computer labs were at high school, and so it's like I got to see and learn from it there. But for another thing, because, you know, I wasn't paying the electric bill, so it kind of wouldn't be fair to my parents. Money was always tight when I was a kid. But now that I'm paying the electric bill, money's still tight, but it does heat the studio nicely in winter. So it's but it makes me feel like I'm helping a little bit in some small way. And like, I find that if I get really stressed out about stuff that's bad, that's outside of my control. And so, like, oh good, there's a global pandemic on. You know, like, that's the sort of thing that stresses me out. But it's like, okay, well, I'm contributing some compute time at least. Even though it's not much, it's a small way that I can help. And then the whole thing feels slightly more manageable. Which, maybe it isn't slightly more manageable at all, but I'm able to function better on the whole with that pleasant little fiction. So, Welcome, Lillian. Glad you could join us. So I don't know if there's anybody, or well, I do know if there's anybody here, but I don't know if the folks who are here from my Patreon community saw there's a new Discord channel under activity signups, July 15th, Deep Space Nine map art contest. This is a 3.5-month long map art contest that will be judged in mid-July. There are 3 different categories and 2 different classes of contestants. So there's going to end up being 6 different sets for the judging. The 2 different classes of contestants are solo and team. And the 3 different categories of entries are retro, which is a 1x1 map built with carpet, or built with wool on a flat plane. Then there's the refined category, which is unlimited techniques and block palettes with up to 5 maps composing one piece. So, retro, 1x1, only wool. Refined, you can use whatever you want. It can be 2D or 3D, but it does max out at 5 maps. And then really big is our 3rd category, and that's basically unleashed. No restrictions on materials or 2D versus 3D. The only restriction is that it must be at least 6 maps. So there will be 18 prizes awarded. I haven't worked out exactly what the prizes will be yet, but there will be a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd prize awarded for each set of entries. So once again, 3 categories with 2 classes of entrant, solo and individual. Badger Spanner, welcome! Glad you could join us. Oh hey, I found you in that concert photo you posted on Twitter. It was actually way easier to find you in the 2nd picture, even though the color was all washed out. Just from the shape of your hair. I immediately was like, yep, that's the back of Badger's head. And then from there, I was able to confirm that by finding the pink, which was harder to find than I thought in the first photo. Hey, welcome, Mr. Hardluck. But yeah, Patreon patrons who are interested in competing in the map art contest, you can start on your entries now. And you have until July 15th will be the judging. I don't know the exact time we're going to do the judging at, but just to make things fair, it's going to be pencils down at midnight Central Time, July 14th. Like, you have to have... You have to plan to have your thing delivered to the judging area by the night before. Setting up stream thing is still up. Yeah, I don't think we're actually set up, because... Are we set up? Maybe. We'll figure that out. Let's, yeah. If I'm not sure if we're not, I mean, we're kind of just talking about random stuff instead of what the stream's supposed to be about, which is talking about random stuff. So it does get hard to tell. It does get hard to tell. Ooh, that was a little overshoot there. Actually, we want to take those back. Let's make these into those and these into those. I didn't accidentally leave any others right there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, oh, before I start the stream and take down the setting up streaming sign, I need to remind folks that this is not an advertiser support stream. This is a viewer supported stream. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We're trying something kind of experimental today. Okay, if you're spamming the same question, then you're gonna get either timed out or banned. Also, why would you ask someone what their saddest moment while blank is? Yeah, the question was, what is your saddest moment while streaming? Why would you want... It's Monday morning. People are going to work. Why would you ask a question that is just, like, designed to make people feel bad? Also, why would you ask me to rank things? You know what? The more I'm talking about this... I'm not going to time this person out. They spammed a question that was inappropriate. They're banned. Yeah, you broke 2 rules. You harshed the vibe. And you spammed. Technically, the rule you broke was being wildly off topic, because making everyone depressed is, broadly speaking, wildly off topic here. But yeah, good luck in somebody else's stream. I never want to see you again. Okay, let's move on. On some level, I want to just let this go. But on another level, I'm like, how do I make this your saddest moment while streaming? I haven't actually called you out by name, but that might be your happiest moment while streaming, because maybe you wanted the attention. Maybe I should check to make sure that if you have... you know what? I'm going to ban that name on Twitch just in case, too. That might help. Oh. There's a space in there. I'm just going to do an underscore and a one-word variant as well. Because that's such a unique name. There's unlikely somebody else has the same name. Okay. So. Enjoy your cat's cuddles there, Amanda. Welcome, welcome. I really need to get some birch in here. This is starting to actually come together, which is very exciting for me. I do need to borrow sponges. That is, my goal is the next time I see Jevin online, I'm gonna bother him for sponges. But he hasn't been online much, so this might be a bad plan. This might be a plan that requires actually coordinating with Jevin off camera. But I don't like, that's not as, doesn't feel as organic. This is why I'm bad at HermitCraft. People are like, Joe, why don't you just ask people stuff via Discord or text message? And I'm like, that doesn't feel like it's in the spirit of what we're doing here. I'm constantly told I don't understand the spirit of what we're doing here. Oh, so maybe I'm not the best judge of that. Yeah, it might be worth just using sand if I can't get a hold of Jev, because it's starting to get a little bit out of hand here. Why am I... Oh. Gem or Impulse have sponges too. Yeah, I think Impulse will be online in a minute. Not a minute, but like in about a half hour. He's usually around this time. So we'll have the opportunity to get some more sponges. Boy, it's a great day today. I am enjoying a nice cup of coffee here. I say cup, it's a travel mug, because I didn't want it to spill. But I've got my nice travel mug full of coffee, making progress on the build, gathering a bunch of trash to put into Portal's trash things. Oh, sorry about that, Kara. Hope you feel well soon. Hope you get the opportunity to rest, and that'll pass quickly enough. Corrales' car wash has sponges. Really? Are those for borrowing? How does it? I didn't know that about Corrales' car wash. We'll be having some fun. Wait, no, that's the boardwalk. Under the car wash, we'll be having some fun. Under the car wash, there's a whole bunch of sponge under the car wash. Yeah, I don't think that works as well. Oh, they're part of the build. Yeah, I feel like destroying Corrales' build is not in the spirit of HermitCraft either. I'm just gonna keep saying the spirit of HermitCraft until people start dressing as a ghost for Halloween. Okay. Okay. This is definitely really starting to feel sponge ready, though. Yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Yeah. Okay, so that's gonna come down to here. This then is down to here. False join the game. Woo, false symmetry. Joining games and bringing pains. In PvP combat. Zed has exactly one sponge for his collection, maybe two if he has a dry one and a wet one. Well, I don't want to mix them up by accident, so don't want to borrow from him. That's out then. Is this inside the machine? Yep, this is inside the pinball machine. I realized before I start laying out the playfield, I really want to put in some of the internal components so that they're visible for a while, at least. Because originally I was like, well, let's do the playfield first, but now that we know we have enough time to do everything, it's like, let's do it in an order where you get to see everything. Because doing a bunch of work inside the build that is never visible to the sky just doesn't feel as fun. Have I worked on my tournament deck? Yeah! I did a test game against Cub Fan last night and won. And that's pretty good for me. I don't usually win against Cub Fan. Now, granted, his tournament deck is probably not as good as his normal deck. I mean, it certainly isn't. Whereas my tournament deck is distinctly better than my regular deck. Now, some people might accuse me of intentionally playing with a poor deck this entire time so that I could go up against Zombie Cleo in the seeding, knowing that she would be very highly seeded. But you might think that, but I couldn't possibly comment. No big showdown against Cleo here. We're just going to get it right out of the way. Rip that Band-Aid off. Are you allowed to change your deck during the tournament? Yes, but not mid-game. So, like, between round... So, round 1, I'm playing Cleo. Then round 2, I'm going to be playing either Ren or Pearl, depending if I move on. Ren is the stronger competitor in general, so I think I need to be prepared to face Ren. Have we worked out who will... Yeah, we've got a ref scheduled for Thursday. Because even though Cleo and I are both refs, we need a third-party arbiter for the official tournaments. Events. The tournament already started. Cleo and my match is Thursday. You can check out Vintage Beef's channel for the announcement about the tournament and the rules and the bracket and everything. Whoops. Back to the box of diamond pickaxes. Yeah, here's one now. Ooh, we had some... Ooh, we have birch in there. I didn't realize we had birch. Okay, next problem then is we're going to offload a bunch of this stuff. Wait, why did I take the bad pickaxe? I thought I got the good one. Yeah, Coven Wells already had their tournament match. Efficiency 5. Silk Touch Mending, that's fine. And then we also, let's grab the bunch of birch planks. Evanetta tips 6 new Israeli shekels, which comes out to... Because I have to check this every time. 2 U.S. Abacus speeds. Thank you very much, Evanetta, who says woo for tournament. Thank you. That puts us 18 away from our first Face Gamer expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Jig says, question for Joe, how vanilla are your texture packs? Will you ever consider adding popular textures like connected glass or puffy leaves? That stuff gets cycled in and out. Is kind of... The short answer is, whenever I do that, it ends up only sticking around for a little while because there'll inevitably be some sort of change to the server that breaks it. So, like, the people who have connected glass or whatever through Optifine and on the server have a bunch of other plugin incompatibilities that they have to really edit around so that they don't show up in the videos. Whereas, since I stream most of the time, all of my stuff needs to work 100% of the time. But yeah, basically, the HermitCraft server doesn't always play nicely with those things, and I don't have the energy to deal with it. But it also affects how other people will see what I build, too, in ways that might not be helpful. Like, if I'm assuming that everybody's seeing what I'm seeing, and they're not, then that could break mini games, that can be problematic in other ways. But... Oops. Whoops. Uh-oh. Did we lose an emerald block there? Yeah, we're gonna need to put that back. That's super convenient when your beacon is directly over a chasm. So we're gonna maybe need to fix that so we can catch the beacon when we destroy it. Did I ever get the sponges? No, I'm waiting for Jev to log on. He's been busy this weekend, it seems. So I'll catch him when I catch him. But that is like next in my queue. The sponges are very, very high priority. As you can see, the water is getting a little bit out of hand. We're ready. It's sponge time. It's time for the sponges, whether or not the sponges have heard their curtain call. Wait, no, is curtain call when you go back out? I don't know. Or when you... I don't know. It's time for sponges, is the short version. Yes, very much so. Why not try to find an unconquered ocean monument and raid it for sponges? Well, for one thing, there's no unconquered ocean monuments within, like, 8,000 or 15,000 blocks. Because Jevin went and conquered a bunch after Gemini Tay conquered a bunch, and Jevin was complaining about how far he had to go thanks to Gem. So... and then he went way further, so... It would not be, even if I wanted to do that, which I don't, it would be ludicrously time-intensive to even find where we need to go. I'd rather just keep digging until I happen to be online at the same time as them. Ooh, we got some people thumbs-upping the interest survey for the map build contest. Tommy Boy, Fifth Alice, Centaurtron, and Stellar Spider are all interested. Very excited about that. Howdy, Dark. Any chance False has sponges? Maybe. Yeah, I posted a 3.5 month, or I posted a set of rules for a 3.5 month map art build contest on my Patreon server, just like 10 minutes ago. Wait, 40 minutes ago? How long? What? How long have I been streaming? Jeez. Yeah. Wow, I've been streaming for a while. Okay. I thought like, wow, I feel like we're just getting started here. It still says setting up stream. I should probably take that down. Okay, now that I know we've been going for almost 40 minutes. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I was like, oh, we're just talking before the stream starts. Oh, good, I got a PayPal alert that I have an outgoing bill that just got paid. Quick reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. I don't actually subtract money from the abacus when bills get paid like that, but I do feel it in my heart. To the person who asked, what's your saddest moment when streaming earlier that I banned, because that was a terrible and rude question, and you should never ask streamers that. It certainly feels like it every time I get a PayPal alert when I'm streaming, and I see, you just paid $20 to the New York Times. It's like, ugh. Okay. Yeah. They have a very difficult to, I don't know. I don't want to just complain about newspapers now. Yeah, the camera's here. I'm down here in slot 9 putting the hot in the hot bar. We are $18 away from our first face camera expansion milestone. See, that's gonna go like here, right? Yeah. Ooh, more people have responded to the interest survey. Kindleless and magenta avocado. Ooh. Very interesting. And Mahi's Zero is apparently thinking about it. Good for you, Mahis. You have 3.5 months. I figure most people probably won't. Like, the intention is not for the contestants to all spend 3.5 months doing map art nonstop. The intent is that in the next 3.5 months, hopefully you'll have enough time at some point to complete an entry of one of these sizes. Even if it's a group entry, you know, and you're just like, oh, you know what? Let me jump on and work with somebody else on this for a little bit. That's enough time for everybody to get involved who wants to get involved, and a preposterous amount of time to only do one thing, right? Like, if it was 1 month long, then I feel like there'd be a lot of people who are tempted to go, well, I got to spend the whole month on my map art contest entry. But at 3.5 months long, even the most diehard map art person will be like, you know what? Yeah, I don't need to spend all that time working on this. Okay. Oh, yeah, we really need the sponges to dig into this thing. Okay. Ooh, we're up to 9 people announcing interest. Let's see. NJ says, are there already areas marked off for people to build? Sammy and NJ are both interested. Ooh. I am not designating build areas for this. That is up to individuals. Because, like, you know, if I said, well, entries must be completed in the void over the end or whatever, on a platform, right? Then the problem is that takes away the ability of people to make map art that draws from nature. Like, I don't know if you remember my beefy armed vote for Joe Hills, where there was like an island that looked like somebody with a beefy arm. So I drew a face on it and then wrote on the ocean. See, I was using the ocean for the blue there. So if somebody wanted to do something where the ocean was the blue backdrop, I'm not going to stop them. Mahi Zero Woe says there are plenty of map art platforms available. Yeah, but like I'm not going to stop somebody who wants to use the natural terrain as part of their art. How well it integrates would definitely be considered by the judges. Like if it, you know, it's a gamble. Tommy says, it was missed in live event chat. Oh, sorry, yeah, because I switched over in Discord to look at the reactions. Do we have a time and date for April Deep Space Nine or Deep Slate 9 petitions? Great question, Tommy. Let me pull up my calendar here. That's not my calendar. And let me log back into my calendar here. That's always a great use of my time. My favorite, in fact. Okay. Let's see. Google account password. Bum. Okay. Calendar.google.com. Monthly view for April. I think we should put it on the 15th, right before the Yuri's Night build contest, so... Let's say 10:30 a.m. April 15th, because we've got Easter before that, and the weekend of the 28th I'm slammed. We could try doing it on the 22nd, but I'm not feeling great. So 10:30 a.m. U.S. Central Time. Okay, Tommy's got it. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, we're getting stuff done. Turning logs into planks. Thanks. Yeah, we're having some fun. Turning logs into planks. Thanks. Oops. This is not the most efficient way to do this, but I am enjoying myself, and that's important because this is a video game. So that's gonna go around like that. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix this at some point. Oops. Morning, Moon Roses. We are planking, as popularized by the show The Office. Although it was already a meme before then. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this can just come right across here. One thing that's important about getting the planks in is it shows us what water we don't need to worry about. Like, really, the stuff down inside here, I would be tempted to remove, but I have no cause to. Okay. Whoops, that was too low. Womp womp. You know, now that I think about it, we probably should actually go take a look at how our tree farm is doing. Let's clear out some of our other blocks. Okay. Zadaf joined the game. Zadaf joined the game. Hi-ho, the Dario. Zadaf joined the game. Okay, so block of copper, block of iron. We could take the apple out, take the coal out, more coal blocks, more apple blocks, more lapis blocks. Okay. Yeah, this is not necessarily ideal. Got a few shoulder boxes full of ender pearls, like you do. Okay, sediment blocks can go in here. We should probably consolidate this with the other one. Yeah, one of the reasons to not do the sponges yet, although it's becoming increasingly obvious we need to do it soon, is I don't want to deal with discovering a ton more water after I return the sponges. I want to just knock all this out. Okay. Wow, we are at the point where we have a lot of copper here and a lot of iron. It might be worth starting to take this stuff back up top side. Yeah. Using our fresh conduits cut here. Okay, copper, and this stuff generally goes in these. Wow, we have a lot more iron than I was expecting. What was the difference between these boxes? Oh, yeah. This was the box that I was putting the final ores in. Whereas the, like... Okay, so we're going to take these out. We're going to take the obsidian out. Put those. Okay, yeah, much better. I'm wealthier than I thought in terms of a lot of those blocks. Welcome, Emperor Rorthan. Glad you could join us. Boom. It's a lot more lapis than I thought I had, too. Blocks of coal. A lot of blocks of coal. Got some gold ore there. Our good pal Impulse loves that gold ore for his builds. Getting a lot of stuff cleared out. Nice. Okay, well that's exciting. Pizza Log says, do you have a specific HermitCraft episode where you mention what you're doing with the pinball machine? Maybe my birthday one. The birthday one is where I unveil the theme, which is Deep Field. But it's kind of like a season-long project where I just kind of talk about it as I, like, because I don't have the whole thing figured out start to finish, there's not really, like, a point where I explain the whole thing start to finish. Okay. So we freed up a lot of space here. Yeah. Honestly, just having any of the birch placed on this side, I feel a lot better. Let's go grab some more birch. Welcome, Jake the Beast. Glad you could join us. I see Kindless is saying that some of the mapping platforms on the Patreon server won't be available for a week. Don't worry about that, Kindless. Yeah, that just gives folks more time to plan. Like, it's a 3.5 month long build contest. You don't have to spend the first week immediately building. You can spend time brainstorming, thinking. Yeah. What's the most fun part of researching or planning for the pinball machine? Going to a bunch of different arcades and playing a bunch of pinball games. I do like playing pinball a lot. Welcome, Michael Laposada in the YouTube chat. Glad you could join us. Okay. Wait, do people not consider carpet wool? I'm seeing people saying, Joe, you should change the wording so it says carpet instead of wool. Wool and carpet are like, carpet's made of wool. I could clarify that. Clarification, carpet is wool. I added a clarification, the carpet as well. Having the large maps category start at 6 was very intentional. I'm not going to... The reason for that is I'm concerned that if the larger category started at 7, no one would compete in it. Because at that point, you really have to do 8 or 9 maps to make something that's of a rectangular shape. It is not required that submissions be rectangular. Submissions are not required to be rectangular. But so yeah, submissions are not required to be rectangular or contiguous is the other thing. So you aren't really limited to only 4x4 or 5x1 or 1x1 in that category. You can do all sorts of stuff. Kindle says, right now I need advice on a reasonable way to set boundaries about the use of the space. I think you just say, like, put signs and say this one's not available. Anything that's not available isn't available. You know, it's like more spaces opening next week is a completely reasonable boundary to set. Or, like, telling people to, hey, go fly around in the end and just pick a place and make your own. You know, like, just find an end island and just start building. Like, you know, it is not required of you, Kindleist, to provide these platforms to people. People can frame these things or build these things however they want. I would recommend against doing them inside of the Bahala area, because I do still hope to one day have time to reset that. But, like, yeah, if people want an extra week to build, but it means they have to spend some of that time building their own platform or leveling their own area, then that's fine. Like, they spend that extra week on infrastructure While somebody who spends that week planning, you know, might be a little bit behind on building, but it's 3.5 months. I don't think this is something to stress about. Bum, 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 bum. Pizza Log says, I made a new friend who has a job restoring old pinball machines, and he has one of the first pinball machines from back before they had flippers. Oh, yeah, back when it was literally a plunger and a ball with some pins it fell through. Closer to pachinko. Yep. Very cool. Have I found my helmet yet? No. Okay, this person's just posting spam, so I'm gonna ban them. Sorry about that. Need to not accidentally punch any bees while I'm doing this too. I don't know what the streaming platform Kick is. So I have no opinion of it. Who owns it? That's the most important question is who is profiting from my work if I use it? So tell me about the owners. Who founded Kick? Yeah, which former Twitch devs? What are their names? What did they do? Who are they? Are there any technical advantages to using it? Do they like allow 4K streaming with a higher upload rate than Twitch? I mean, I don't know. You're not really selling me on this. Like, because, like, they didn't show up at Tennessee Game Days to talk to me. They had every opportunity, so I'm already less than impressed. Yeah, how come they're not selling me on the platform? How come this is your job? That's I'm Lakosha says, well, here I thought you might know more. No, because they haven't talked to me. Like, how do you know them? Like, did you work with these guys before? What was your read on them? Toxic Glitter says it's a hookup app that people use to find casual sex. So I don't think that's exactly what I'm going for. That might be why they haven't reached out to me. Okay. If your username is designed to break screen readers, you're going to get banned regardless of what you're saying. Because just the screen reader trying to pronounce your username will make this an unacceptable experience for folks with sight problems. Okay. So that person's banned. A lot of bans today. Badger is saying that these are two different apps, and they are spelled differently. Gotcha. Welcome, Paisley Rose. Well, let's go find out. Let's go do some research. Oh, wow. So they bought the URL of kick.com, but they just stole Kickstarter's logo. They spent all their money on that and couldn't afford their own logo. Don't love that. That's bad. Okay. At the point where y'all are asking me about it, though, I should at least reserve my username there. Okay. Joe __ Hills _ 10108. Okay. Creator dashboard. You must start your stream before going live in OBS. Got it. Decline cookies. Okay, so settings. This does not look very impressive. I'm just gonna say. Restream.io. Set up for OBS Zoom. Add channel. Kick. RTMP. Stream key. Copy. Add channel. Go live. Stream. Got it. Edit stream info. Stream title HermitCraft. Mature audiences only. Category Minecraft. Oh, Minecraft isn't a listed category. Save. Okay, there. I'm live on Kick, Lacocious. Are you happy? You happy now, Lacocious, too? I'm live. Badger, it's your word that this is not a hookup app. So if this does turn out to be a hookup app, don't yell at me. Okay? I was going to just ignore this. But, you know, you went out of your way to encourage me, and I need to accept that encouragement. So I'm now live at kick.com/JoeHills. Peer pressure does work. Although I don't know if it counts as peer pressure if it's my fiance and that person is so awesome. I don't know if I could rightly call them a peer, but, you know, people who you like, pressure definitely works. Speaking of people you like, if you enjoy the show, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are $18 away from our first Face Gamer expansion milestone. Oh yeah, I need to post that over here on the Kick chat. HT tips. Oh, how do I open the Kick? Oh my gosh. Now I gotta have another chat. Oh, I didn't think this through, Lacocious. My commitment to the bit. My commitment to the bit is killing me. Kick.com/JoeHills. Start watching mature content. Decline. Start watching mature. Okay, I need to mute that for sure. The top stream is because top streams are all casino streams. So when you say they disagreed with Twitch about stuff and decided to make their own thing, did they disagree with Twitch about Did they disagree with Twitch about whether or not it was okay to do a lot of casino streams? Because I don't love casino streams. I'm less impressed the further we get into this. Log in. Oh, good. Now I get to type an 85-character password that was automatically generated. Yay! Okay. Sure. So now I'm logged in. My fiance just wrote, "Hey, want to hook up?" Yes, please. Okay. So now it is a hookup. We did it. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. My first message ever posted to Kick. Is there anybody on here in the Minecraft category before me? Or besides me? How small is this? It's... I don't recognize any of these names. It really seems like is a lot of the Twitch code open source, because it looks like they really just copied the repos before they stole the repos before they left Twitch. This does not look like a Twitch clone. This looks like literally the okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Let's go ahead and grab some of these. But yeah, I'm not encouraged by what I'm seeing. Okay. I do like the fact that it's not owned by Amazon, but it looks like they're about to get sued for just walking off the job with a bunch of repos. There was a Twitch leak a long time... okay, but the thing is, if they worked... Whether or not it was leaked, you can't just copy and paste their code. It's not licensed for that. But, like, the fact that they own the URL or the domain kick.com, which is a 4-letter domain, implies that there's a lot of money behind this. And if there's a lot of money behind this, just stealing Amazon's code is a good way to lose all of that money immediately. I don't understand what I'm seeing here. It doesn't look... Like, here's the thing, is if you used to work at Twitch and you built your own thing that was the equivalent, it would not look like this. It would be opinionated. You would be showcasing... It's funded by Stake, which is crypto gambling. See, this is why the first thing I asked was, what is this? And the first thing I asked is, who owns it? Okay. Is Kick.com just a vehicle for Stake's online casino? Connected to crypto gambling. Yeah, this was a great use of our time, everybody. Great use of our time. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop sending. We spent 6 minutes streaming to a new platform today. Can't say this isn't experimental streaming. We're going to stop sending them our data. Boom. Okay. So, yeah, okay. Okay. So, Lacocious, I'm going to put a little asterisk next to your name to remind me to do research before acting on your advice in the future. That doesn't mean don't bring me advice in the future, because this could have been a good tip. And the next one might be. But just, yeah, do a little bit of diligence next time before you start recommending stuff. Please. NJ says, I tried to warn you. Where did you try to warn me? You said I haven't heard a single good thing about it. Okay, I haven't heard a single thing about it. If you came in and said, here are the bad things I've heard, not I've never heard of this. I haven't heard a single good thing is not the same thing as coming in with data. That's expressing a lack of data. Everybody else is like, I haven't heard of it. And you're like, I don't know, I haven't heard anything good about it. That's not a warning. That's just general ignorance, which is where everybody else was. I'm not mocking you for being ignorant. I'm saying we were all ignorant. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, this has been a very productive stream. We've made some progress here. We've stopped using a website. Yeah. If the site is owned by a guy who runs an online gambling company, who's mad about Twitch getting rid of online gambling, that tells me a lot about what I can expect to see decision-wise from the owners. Lacocious said, I only asked if you knew about it, not if you would immediately stream on it. Well, why would... What? I don't understand why... That's like if we're standing in a buffet line and you're like, oh, have you tried the Gouda? Like, I think you're asking me to try the Gouda. Like... I don't know. What's the most challenging part of the pinball machine build? The pixel art is definitely a lot. I'm waiting until my internet gets fixed to work on it. The internet guy is supposed to be here on Wednesday, but if I'm dealing with internet issues at the same time, I'm trying to... Like, if I'm doing highly precise work... So, like, one of the reasons I'm working on this part so much since the storm is that if the internet cuts out when I'm working on this, it's really easy to get back into my flow. But my workflow when I'm dealing with the pixel art is, like, you have to get into a certain headspace. And having technical issues when I'm working on something like this is way more frustrating. Using 6 minutes researching and discovering a potential threat. They're not a threat. Who are they a threat to? I mean, they're not a threat to me, as far as... Mr. Phillips tips too and says, have a tea Jeffy for your troubles. Hey, Mr. Phillips, thank you for the 2. That doubles the number of abacus beads we have moved today, bringing us up to 4. We are now 16 away from our first face camera expansion milestone. I am learning that maybe Monday morning is not an optimal time for Minecraft streams. So maybe I was really tempted to stream pinball this morning. I was like, let me just play some Attack from Mars. And then I was like, no, the people want to see Minecraft. But like at a certain point, it's like I kind of wanted to play Attack from Mars. Yeah, but I need to be making progress on this build too. I just was, since I didn't do a stream on Saturday because I was camping with my kid, I feel like I should catch up a little bit. I don't know. If Jeff isn't online right now, Jeff probably isn't awake. It wouldn't help if I sent him a message. Hey, we got a tip rolling in from Withervane for 5, who says, looks like I forgot to click the send payment button 15 minutes ago. Witty comment is no longer timely. Well, either way, that $5 is still appreciated, Withervane. That puts us 11 away from our first face camera expansion milestone. Was camping fun? Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really I enjoyed the trail. The University of the South at Swanee's trail system is very impressive, and I want to get out there more. It's a long drive, but it's very cool. If I might have considered applying to college there, if I knew that I was going to be stuck going to college. I really didn't think I was going to have to. And so I didn't apply very many places. But yeah, they've got so many awesome trails. And realistically, it's not that much closer to where I went to high school than Vanderbilt. It's not like going to Vanderbilt really got me out into the big wide world. I guess, the number one reason I didn't apply, I guess, is they didn't have ROTC. Which, in fairness, neither did Princeton. I would have had to do the Crosstown affiliate program. But, hey, we got another tip rolling in from Toxic Glitter, who says, here's to keep doubling, and tips 4. That puts us now 7 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Okay, let's go put some of these blocks away. Tommy says, am I safe to assume we're not posting a stream schedule in this week's newsletter because of continued internet issues? Correct. Yeah, I don't want to commit to anything. Because, like, the guy might come in on Wednesday and be like, yeah, you're gonna be offline for 16 hours tomorrow while we fix this, or something stupid. So it would be unwise of me to overpromise on stream schedule for this week. And wow, we're already full again. Hey, you got another tip rolling in. Let's see who it's from. Matthew tips 15. That is going to be 7 plus 8. That gets us 8 past our first face camera expansion milestone. Howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. D-da-dee-da-dee. And Matthew says, from a hookup platform to crypto gambling, the word kick is developing quite the reputation as a website. Yeah. Evan says, will the match with Cleo be on stream? No. It's going to be recorded for episodes. I don't think most of the tournament games are going to be on stream. Because we're trying to showcase Beef's work in episodes with higher stakes games. And it's not a time that I normally stream at. So I think I think you can expect most tournament episodes to be embargoed. Yeah, we'll just have to hope that I don't mess up the footage. And if I do, that Cleo gets it. Welcome, Acacia Hawkins. We are working on my pinball machine, placing a whole bunch of birch. I do feel way better about this project now that we're actually laying birch on this side of the machine. It just feels good. Yay. Yeah, we want the tournament episodes to be dramatic and feel high stakes and stuff. And you can do a lot more in editing than you can on a stream. And it's a lot easier to pay attention to the other players and make sure that you're being funny when you don't have to worry about moderating chat and stuff too. Lakosha says, the thing is, on Kick, you might be able to stream from inside a pub or on location with the pinball machines. Why wouldn't I be able to do that with joehills.net/live? I could just stream... I feel like I can... I already have a thing for that. The tech isn't 100% there, but it's getting better. That might be too far. I might have gone too far there. There won't be any Adobe After Effects because I don't use Adobe After Effects. Oh, it was just getting dark because I was under the thing. I'm easily confused. I mean, if Twitch banned me for streaming from a bar, then I would just have an excuse not to use Twitch anymore. Which, you know... Like, if I can get the tech working a little bit more reliably on the joehills.net/live thing, I don't really need Twitch for discoverability at this point. I mean, I don't know. It's nice to be part of the stream days and be able to raid people, but I don't like Twitch. I tolerate it, and so, like, I don't know. Being told you're not allowed to tolerate this anymore doesn't really seem like the worst thing. The problem is, YouTube is better at certain things, but worse at others. To go back to the person who asked, what's your saddest moment while streaming? Probably finding out that Twitch had bought, or Amazon had bought Twitch. Just keeping it 100 here. Okay, that actually goes up higher here. Yeah, I wasn't happy when Microsoft bought Beam either. And when Microsoft handed Beam over to Facebook was even worse. The problem is, it's not really cost effective to do a general streaming platform. Like, I can afford... well... I'm close to being able to afford to self-host all my own streaming stuff. And, you know, you could scale it up to 14, 20 hermits maybe, if you wanted, and do okay. But once you start allowing users to create accounts that have the ability to post video, the cost viability drops off. Badger says, I remember the last Mixer stream so vividly. I don't remember it at all. But that's... Man, I just don't get enough sleep. People keep telling me about stuff I was at, and I just don't know. Newsletter draft currently has headings for Mercy Road 4, Minecraft servers including the parade build contest, petitions, map art contest, pinball results, upcoming conventions, HermitCraft videos, notable streams. Any other topics I need to cover this week? That sounds pretty good to me, Tommy. Because, yeah, the only stuff that I explicitly posted for you to make sure you got was the, Oh, actually, Tommy, can you post my Taylor Swift spoken word thing? That's very deeply... You got give it section title important tweets. Yeah, I have those 2 Taylor Swift spoken word tweets that were robbed of recognition in the HermitCraft recap, and we won't make that same mistake with our newsletter. No. No. Yeah, because the problem is, once you start having an unlimited number of people streaming on a service, you need to have all sorts of scalability. Like, basically, if you wanted to host video for just a few people, you can do it relatively cheap. I say relatively. Like... For people whose job it is to stream and make money off tips, they could make enough money off tips to self-fund this. Like, if Twitch went away tomorrow, HermitCraft could... HermitCraft.com/live could just have live video of our streams. We could self-host streaming for a small number of users, specifically us, and pay for it using the money that we make when y'all tip. But what we couldn't do is run a service where 20,000 people sign up and there's no revenue model other than advertising, which is not self-sustaining in the long term. We could host our streams and make it work financially, but we couldn't host everybody here's streams. Grumpy Bunny says, I did not know that was a Taylor Swift song. Did you read the text that introduced the video? Okay. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, somebody this weekend mentioned winning a Reader's Choice Award. And it's like, oh, it's always good when you got the literate vote. I don't watch the HermitCraft recap. I open it up to see how they've slighted me this week. What? They included Scar's tweet, but not mine? No! Rage watch! No, I don't actually rage watch it. But that is funny. Okay. Tommy says, I'm putting it at the top. Live now. joehills.net/newsletter 39. Thank you, Tommy. Tommy's been working hard on this newsletter, so I'll post that link in all of these. To be fair, I didn't release a dragon on the server. Thank you for getting those important tweets, Tommy. That's really appreciated. I don't need to steal the sponges. There's as you can see, there's still plenty of work for me to do without having the sponges. Like, if I was out of stuff to do, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, well, maybe how about this? We go steal the sponges. But, like, right now, there's still so much birch to place, so much digging to do. We're at the point where it would be helpful to have the sponges, but it's not required to have the sponges. Okay, but not knowing it's a Taylor Swift song, you still understand, though, from the preface that this is not me having a crisis. This is me trying to do a spoken word bit based on a song suggestion my daughter made. You guys get in trouble for things like letting a dragon loose? I don't know what in trouble means. Like, is it bad if like, is the dragon being loose the trouble? Or do you mean, like, are there consequences for letting a dragon loose? Probably. There's probably consequences. That's one of the reasons I'm trying not to load any chunks that have a dragon in them at the moment. The other reason I'm staying pretty close to my base. There's consequences, but that doesn't mean... Not all consequences are reprimands. I don't think there will be a reprimand. Badger Spanner says, even the most basic SMPs usually have a rule of you broke it, you fix it. Yeah, but, like, the thing is with HermitCraft, like, I mean, sometimes stuff just gets out of hand, and you ignore it. Like like, we had that portal where you could go through where there were, like, 100 withers let loose, and it kind of broke the server, so we just told people not to go in those chunks. Nobody got in trouble, but nobody fixed it either. That was our time dilation biome. If you needed to slow down the tick rate on the server for some reason, you could just have somebody go over there. Oops, this is not going well. Did X call them before the world download? Ah, that's dumb. Should have left them. Boo. Consequences are part of actions. Well, I think he should be reprimanded for fixing that. I think it should have been left. I'll bring it up at the next meeting. I heard that you broke the world download and I don't even know what season was that. people are more likely to get yelled at for fixing something like that in a non-vanilla way than for ignoring it entirely. Like, if somebody's like, hey, I broke a spawner, so I asked one of the admins to roll back the chunk. No, that's not okay. Like, you break a spawner, you broke a spawner. You don't... It's not, oh, you broke it, you fix it. It's, you broke it, it's broken forever. Accept that and move on with your life. Lakosha says there's too many waterlogged caves after the 1.7 or 1.18 update. Like Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Too much water. Not a fan. Hey, welcome Mini Cheese Mouse. Glad you could join us today. We are currently working on getting some actual birch into our pinball machine here, which is always a treat. Dun, 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 dun. Oops. I actually don't know how far back this goes. I should probably dig through here and find out. Okay, goes to there. Okay. So let's go one over here and swing this way as well. Okay, so this is the level at which that'll become an element. Okay. Straight across here now. Oh, what happened there? Huge rollback. What? So, strange. Okay. So I'm up here now. That's where that is. Okay, that makes sense. Just eyeballing this in general here. And I'm out of beacon range. And I'm not getting back into it, am I? Nope. There's your beacon range. Out of beacon range. Beacon, beacon, beacon. It's beacon. Did I participate in the Anvil War? I don't know if that verb is appropriate for... I don't know how to answer the question. I have been struck by anvils. But I don't know if it's actually a war either. So, yeah, I guess 2 of the words in your question I have issue with. Participate and war. You know? I mean, this thing isn't... I don't think this is a war, you know? Wars end. Did I try to drop an anvil dropping on other hermits? I don't know what an anvil dropping is. Is that like an iron nugget? I have not attempted to drop an anvil dropping on another hermit. Hey! Thank you to Leslie for tipping 5, who says, "Morning, Joe!" Morning, Leslie. That puts us now 17 away from our next Face Gamer expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. It's funny because, like, I know all the other digging was making progress on this, but I didn't really feel like I was making progress until I started putting this, putting the birch in. Now that we're actually getting the birch in here, counting the components too, like, now, once we get the birch in, I can start marking where the cutouts are going to be, I can start marking where the components are going to be. The whole thing just feels better. Like, I'm getting more of a sense of accomplishment, even though I'm still doing the same basic things. I'm pulling blocks out and I'm placing blocks. Like, the level of personal satisfaction is way higher. Anyone else have an odd glitch, says Alex Bernstein? It looks like we did drop some frames. 570 frames just dropped. So that's not great, because that's 60 frames a second. So that's going to be a little bit of frames there, yeah. So, still getting it, says one person. We're not seeing more drop frames, but it might be a little bit of delay before that actually goes through. I'm desynced with the game noises. Mintio, yeah, says you're part of HermitCraft. I like to think we're all part of HermitCraft. But, I have been on HermitCraft for over 10 years as a player. I play on HermitCraft. That's the difference. People in YouTube are saying it sounds fine on their end. The audio desync issues might be Twitch only. I don't know. Twitch might have responded to the drop frames differently than YouTube did or something. Looks like there's definitely an underground pool there that we don't care about because it's below the line. Is the follow button gone? I mean, if you're already following me, the follow button goes away. Mintier, yes, says to think I've never heard of you. But I'm already following you. Yeah, that would be why. You probably have heard of me. I hear about things and then forget them all the time. It makes me very hard to work with or be around. Okay. Doing well today, indeed, Demented MK. Thank you for asking. That reminds me, I'm having so much fun, I lost track of time. We're almost to the 2-hour mark. As a quick reminder, this is a viewer-supported stream. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are going to borrow a sponge next time we see Jevin online. I'm just making progress until then. People are like, just message him now. If he was awake, he would be online. Sending him a message isn't going to make him come online. It's very early in Eastern time zone. I live in Central time. And the only reason I'm awake is because I had to get my kid to school. Which is like a legal requirement. Thanks, the state. Jevin, unencumbered by offspring, does not have any reason to be online or awake right now. Camping was great, Alvarez. I'm going to talk about that a little bit in my next episode. I had a lot of fun. Point Break Lord of Thunder says, I know you're working on a pinball machine. I haven't been paying enough attention. It's going to be a fully playable game when you're finished. It's going to be an elytra course. So basically, in a real pinball machine, the ball comes off the flippers at like 95 miles an hour. And there's no way to simulate something like that at this scale in Minecraft other than a player with an elytra and rockets. And so the player is the ball. And it'll be an elytra course where people can see how quickly they can navigate it. It'll have 3 main parts. The first part will be up inside the playfield. So you would start where the plunger is, come up the shooter lane. I'm going to have a crossing here with a small orbit that brings you around to there. You go down the pop bumpers. You know, there will be some other stuff on the playfield. Go down an in lane, up off a flipper, back, possibly back down here, down the drain. Once you're down the drain, you're going to be in the interior bit with all these components here. Flying around these components. And then you'll fly up through the conduit holes into the back box, where we will have our translite and a bunch of other components fly around there. And then the exit, you'll probably go back down one of the other conduit holes. And then out through Coin eject. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Are the monuments bits gonna be part of the components? They're gonna fall too once I get the sponges. Will the coin slots be where the hermits submit their payment? That would be funny, but realistically, that's probably gonna be at the plunger. Although now that I'm thinking about it, it might be that you would come in through the coin slot and there'd be a foyer here, and then like stairs that lead up to the plunger or something. Yeah, that might be better. I haven't worked out all of the exact mechanics of everything. As you can tell, this is still a work in progress. People are saying, Joe, how early can it possibly be Eastern time if it's 10:30 a.m. Central time? I would not be awake right now if I hadn't had to get my kid to school. I repeat that. I don't think you understand how far behind on sleep I am. I really... but I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule, and that's one of the reasons I'm streaming, is because if I'm streaming right after I drop my kid off at school, I'm getting out of the habit of going back to bed directly after dropping her off, which is not a good one. I need to try to get to sleep earlier at night. So I'm trying to hard cap my streams and get my laundry and stuff done earlier in the day. It's really hard, though, because I'll think, like, oh, yeah, things are cleaned up enough. And then I'll look in the kitchen before bed, and I'll be like, no, I should... This is not at a level I'm happy at leaving it alone. Yeah. Welcome back, NJ. Okay. So, looking at this. This water we really are going to want to clear up before we do too much work on that part. This part here, though, doesn't have a lot of water, so why don't we get this taken care of. Is all the water coming from flooded caves? Yeah, well, we are below sea level now. National Joe Day is a garbage holiday made up by people who, like, refuse to acknowledge that there was already an International Joseph's Day, like, literally on the 19th. Like, I don't know if it's people who hate Catholicism who decided to make this International Joe Day, or if they saw how big a deal St. Joseph's Day or Dia de San Jose was in the Latin American world and said, let's make things worse for people in Latin America by creating a competing holiday. But no, International Joe Day is a garbage holiday created by haters. I'm not sure exactly what they hate, but it's pretty obvious that they hate something, and I'm not going to indulge them. It's nonsense. Like, it would be like creating National Nicholas Day on December 27th. Why would you create National Nicholas Day on December 27th? Why? Why? That is the stupidest nonsense garbage. But that's what they're doing here. That's what they're doing. It's related to... Coffee isn't even from the United States. That makes no sense. Like, we don't need national holidays for names. NJ Coffee Junkie says National Coffee Day is actually a different holiday. That's not on today either. September 29th. Yeah, there's already a Feast of St. Nicholas on the 5th of December. Yeah, you don't need National Nicholas Day later on in December. But then there's also the St. Nicholas is also celebrated in relation to Christmas, which is on December 25th. So, I don't know. I hate being... Every year I'm dragged into this stupid fight. I hate it. I hate it. It's unnecessary. It's a waste of time and energy, and whoever created that holiday should probably lose their job at creating holidays and should be looked at pretty warily before being rehired elsewhere. Like, I don't know. This is definitely one of those things that, like, shouldn't impact my mood, but every year it comes up, and every year I get, like, irrationally angry about it. To the point where it's like, I really should just add, like, a rule to my stream rules. Don't talk about International Joe Day. Or don't talk about National Joe Day. It's a garbage holiday and you will be immediately banned. Like, I hate adding rules that are that specific, but I don't know how to push back effectively otherwise against this sort of thing. I don't know. Sometimes I just ignore the question, and then when the person repeats it, I ban them for repeating the question. If it's something like that that annoys me. Maybe I should just... that's what I should do. I should just do that here. Maybe I need to create a rule for myself. Don't answer questions that make me irrationally angry. I don't know. I know you didn't mean anything by it, to Tengen. I know you didn't mean anything by it, but it's like, it's just one of those things. Like, I'm just so tired, and I'm dealing with so much other nonsense, and I'm like, and then people are just out there generating more nonsense, and it's like, I don't know. But, like, this gets back to, like, I don't know. Yeah. Any new deck upgrades lately? Yeah, I actually competed with Cub last night in a practice game and won. I don't normally beat Cub. My win record against Cub is pretty poor. But yeah, I actually won against Cub. I actually drew all 6 of my speedrunner hermits in one game, which was maybe a fluke, But the biggest weakness my deck had was not drawing enough hermits and not drawing enough item cards. Or, sorry, not drawing enough item cards. So I put more items in, and I added 2 more hermits, and it works a lot better. Alex says, in fairness, Joe, your win percentage is low against everyone. That's true. Hey, Amberwood, good morning. Oh. Okay. So how far do we have to go before we get to more blocks here? Hey, we got a tip rolling in via PayPal from Christian. Thank you very much, Christian. That's going to get us 3... No, wait. No, that gets us 13 past our next phase gamer expansion milestone. Here we go. Expand Joe. We have been streaming for over 2 hours. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Any plans for HHH today? No. I was just gonna... I mean... What I don't really consider it a plan. I have kind of like like I was just gonna go to Tango's and put snow down. It's not really... How many steps does something need to be a plan? Like, it feels more like an intention. Like, what level of complexity? What's the difference between a plan and just doing something? Like, I don't know where I'm gonna put the snow. I don't know who's gonna be there. I don't know... Don't really have any specifics sorted, you know? So... Plan requires committing time to forming intentions. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't commit time to making that up. I just knew what I was gonna do and intended to do it. So no plan. Just intent. Alex says you should take the day and focus on the pinball machine. I don't think that's a winning strategy there, Alex. I don't think people really want to watch me do this. I'm mostly just doing this to help my sleep schedule. Because, like, I need to be doing something so I don't just go back to bed. I'm trying to get back into a good sleep groove. Welcome, Louisa. So, where does this go? So we bring that up there. We're getting out of the pickaxe range, I think, for the haste beacon. Pretty quick. Okay, yeah. As Tango mentioned, if he wants to do decor to the biome, he has not. Basically, I'm trying to create as blank a canvas as possible so he can determine his own level of involvement with that sort of thing later. I'm trying not to be too opinionated with my landscaping so that it can accommodate whatever he does want. Because, like, if I come in and I put in a bunch of ice spikes and he's like, ooh, that doesn't really fit what I was thinking, then that's a lot worse than if I'm like, okay, we've got some general snowy terrain. Where do we go from here, right? Am I creating source blocks within the monument's bounding box where guardians can spawn? Probably. I mean, I've got, like, an elytra and a trident at this point. Guardians aren't a huge threat or concern. Yeah, see? Bubbles. Is that a bubble beam, or is that just... no. Yeah, so guardians could probably spawn in there. I don't know. Tennessee had the daylight savings time change, well, in most of the United States, earlier this, whatever, month? Yeah. So, like, if Tango decides he wants to see something in particular with the biome, it'll be a blank canvas for him to work with, or for him to direct us on. But yeah. Right now, I'm just putting in a few ponds and lakes in the big flat areas to give it a little bit more of a sense of not being completely one block. But yeah, most part, just trying to get snow in. And I feel like that's enough as a start. And we'll work from there in the next few months. Okay. 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 So we are now out of birch again. If we come up here, though, like, this should look a little bit better. Yeah, that kind of conveys what we're trying to do in a clean and interesting way. Lone Courier wants to know the food from Spain I recommended yesterday. It's called paella. It's really good. It's a rice dish. With a ton of vegetables, and the one I had chicken in it. Chicken paella. Very good. Okay. So... it is coming up on my lunch time. So I think I'm going to take a lunch break and maybe hurl myself into the sea here. Yay, I did it. So let's see who else is streaming Twitch.tv. Oh, that's why I keep drowning so fast. I'm wearing the warden head. It doesn't protect me from stuff. With the... Okay. Here we go. Let's log out over here. Give these trees a chance to grow. Lakshmi13 says, I'm going to have to watch... Oh, dang it. Did I just lose the internet anyway? Looks like I just lost my connection to the HermitCraft server regardless. Great. Okay. Good timing there. Good timing. So we're going to go ahead and raid Kendrasite / raid Kendrasite. Assuming that my Twitch is even still working. Okay. Hopefully I can switch over the internet. Anyway. So when you get over there, our raid message is, howdy y'all, Joe Hills raid here. I gotta go get lunch. But until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do-do-do.